Oh no, Terence Bud Crawford is not a happy camper. What's going on, boxing fans, critics, and analysts? Thank you so much. Renee Box Young, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, showing the love and support for your comments and the videos, etc., tuning into the lives, all that good stuff. You know what it is, man. I thank you so much. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody's doing well. Taking care of yourselves and your loved ones. I want to talk about this, share it with you guys. I'm sure you already seen it, heard it. You know what I mean? It's just I have a different angle at concerning this, what I want to talk about. And like I said, I'm sure you saw it. Let's check it out real quick right here. Terence Crawford official Twitter account, etc. Check his link in the description, blah blah blah, right? Check it out. And it says here that he's moving back to 135. Screw this. I'm sick of this. Screw this, man. No, I'm just kidding, man. I've said it time and time again on my channel. You go, back about a year or so, how Terence Crawford started. The thing here is that there are people who, express their emotions and they express themselves more through social media. There are people who really don't do that. Seems like Terence Crawford kind of seems to do that. Not all the time, obviously, but, since about a year ago. Like I said, I've been saying it time and time again as far as, his frustration. You can just tell he's frustrated, and this all boiled back to, and it started around 2019, the end of the year, where Bud started, just saying some things, on Twitter and, talking about fans and this and that and hating and just, talking about Spence. And then his sister came along and backing him up and, screw you. You guys don't know about, I don't even remember what they said. don't pay, but it's obvious. It was out there. And I actually made a video about that, I think. And you could just, what's going on. I'm in the know of these things. I mean, one of the reasons I can kind of, to a certain extent, care less to what his entourage says is because it's just, his people backing him up, which I understand, backing him up, supporting him. But it's just that, there has been a big wave of criticism towards Terence Crawford because of, you guys know why, ladies and gentlemen. You all know why, and it's not about his skills. It's not about what he does in the ring. It's on how he has been moving himself outside the ring and the decisions he has been making and so on and so forth, right? And you guys know the story. So the thing here is that, it's gotten to a point where, Terence Crawford, he's just, expressing his emotions on social media to a certain extent and saying this and that. And it seems like he's quite emotional, as far as what he says, because when a person who expresses their mind, I've said this before, under emotions, we say erratic things and we say some things that are not coherent a lot of the time when we're emotional and driven by emotion when we speak. We don't have much logic when we say things. Terence Crawford, it's very obvious that he hasn't had much coherency at the moment that he speaks. Not saying he doesn't, of course not. Listen to the context of what I'm saying. When he's emotional, when he just lashes out, that's where the incoherency comes out, what I'm saying, with the Instagram lives has been going on recently, you guys all know the story, okay? I don't need to get into details. Everybody knows what's going on, okay? And I would like to, bring to our attention, what Terence Crawford said some time ago concerning this. Very similar. This is not the first time he said something like this. This is not the first time, this was months back. I made a video about it, and talked about how Terence Crawford, he was like in a gray jumpsuit or whatever, right? In the ring, in the middle of a ring in a gym or something. And there was media around him asking him questions, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I'm moving to 160 or something like that. I'm moving to 160. I promise you. I'm going to fight Canelo. I promise. And, I said it before that, Terence Crawford, he's not the type of guy, it looks like he's a serious guy when he says something. Looks like I thought at the time, okay, and I said it, that at that time when he said that, he looked like a person that doesn't lie, or he's pretty honest in what he says, or he's gonna do it. But now that we have seen a trajectory in him being frustrated and lashing out in social media and saying this and that, and then going on IG saying this and then flipping the script and then saying that, and then back and forth in his own I don't know, in his own mind, saying things that are quite incoherent. He's at it again, what I'm saying? I'm saying that he's going to move back down to 135. Bob Arum just recently came out, on the platform, Barbershop Conversations. Shouts out to him. Great stuff, interview with Bob Arum. Had people get on the panel and ask him questions. Nice, good questions. Good questions, man. But I had to go to sleep. It was getting late, man. You know, we got different time zones down here in Mexico, and man, I was about to. Man, my eyes were closing. I gotta get some sleep. But I was able to catch some nice questions. I remember seeing Bill Haney there, listening to him. Bill Haney, man, was bringing that to Bob. So in that show, you know what I'm saying. Bob Arum was talking about having they talked about Bud, and they said about him. They're directing, or Bob Arum has his eye on Terence Crawford fighting the winner of Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor at 140. They're obviously at 140. They're not at 135. So this just adds more to the incoherency of what Terence Crawford is saying, that going back to 135, but your boss is saying that they're gonna direct you to most likely 140 to fight the winner of these guys, the champs there. This is just I feel sorry for Bud, man. I'm not here to attack him. I'm not here to, you know what I mean? My platform, I don't do that. I speak facts, and I speak what it is, and I speak my mind. I speak my opinion in a respectful fashion, even though sometimes maybe some people don't receive it as respectable. But nowadays, nobody receives anything as respectable as far as when you give criticism. So whatever. But I'm not here to, talk bad about Terence Crawford. It's just that I don't know, man. I have a different approach. I feel kind of sorry for him. You just put yourself in his shoes. Look at all the pressure and the criticism he's been receiving in the welterweight division. I mean, particularly there. There are other people, and people that know the sport of boxing well, as far as details and things of that nature, trajectory and opponents and blah 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 of certain fighters. They have. He has been criticized of the opponents he has faced in other divisions. I don't focus on that. I focus more on the 147 as far as with Terence Crawford and the welterweight division, you know what I'm saying? And certain fighters there. Obviously, you already know I focus on other divisions too, but as far as with Terence Crawford, I've been focusing a lot on this welterweight trajectory. And in this division in particular, Terence Crawford has received so much criticism, so much, and I'm not saying it's hating. I've said it before. I don't think it's hating. It's just people are saying the truth, that's all. And people, true boxing fans, people who love the sport of boxing, they want to see champs fight champs. They want to see, I want to see, fighters, come up also, the right way. What do I mean by the right way? You go to a division, fight your way up. I personally was against, it was a fight, whatever. But, Mikey Garcia moving up to 147 and shooting for Spence. I know it was a money bag, blah, blah, blah. That's great for him. But as far as, competitiveness, I was thinking, what are you doing, man? Mikey Garcia, what are you doing, But whatever. He saw something, and it is what it is. You already know. But, Terence Crawford, he was at 147 campaigning. He's, so far at least, whatever, fought Jeff Horn, which is great. But, just skipping all the other top welterweights, that's what I was against. And that's what many fans have been against. You know what I'm saying? And just imagine being in Bud's shoes. He's just receiving so much. He has received so much. And, he's gotten to the point where he's saying this. His friend recently, Bernie, whatever, came out and just backing him up and saying this and that. And he went to Spence's fight. People almost beating him up, a crowd, coming and jumping him. I mean, you can box, but, you got to be careful, and him, I don't know, man. It's just, I'm sure he felt, I'm thinking to a certain extent, I made a video on it too recently about, Bud Crawford. He definitely had courage to go to the Spence fight. But, that was full of Spence fans, that stadium. And it's kind of a dangerous situation, you know what I mean? But, I think that, Bud kind of, to a certain extent, we're all human beings, I'm sure he felt all those people, man, straight up saying Spence, no, this is Spence Nation or whatever they were saying, I don't know, and then they were confronting Bud, and I don't know, man. I think he just got to the point where, to this point, I'm moving back to 135. Screw it. I keep it clean. You already know it. So, and like I said, this lacks even more coherency because, his boss, or he was thrown to Todd. I mean, he was, passed over to Todd, whatever his last name is. I'm not good with names, but, in Top Rank. And last I heard, Bob, I made a video about that too. Last I heard was, Bob pushed Terence over to Todd, one of the, officials in Top Rank or whatever, president, CEO, whatever they call it, and to take care of him. But Bob at the same time is saying that, we're eyeing, they're paraphrasing that they're eyeing or they're focusing on, the winner of, Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor for Bud to fight. So that's what I'm saying. This lacks even more coherency because what Bud's saying, because obviously we know that Taylor and Ramirez at 140. So I don't know, man. I feel sorry for Bud. I feel sorry for him. We all make mistakes. We all make decisions sometimes that bite us in the behind. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the first to say it. But I guess the sad thing part, I've said it before. Also, I like to repeat myself just to get it clear. I said it before, as far as when people are in public scrutiny, when people are under public scrutiny, like athletes and stars or whatever, celebrities, they get the most criticism. And I feel sorry for Bud. He's getting the most criticism out of maybe not the best decision that he has made on re-signing the Top Rank. It all boils down to that. We know the story, and I've said it time and time again. Platforms have said it time and time again, and we know why. All this just all build it up because him re-signing to to Top Rank and getting the opponents he has been getting in the welterweight division, it just doesn't cut it. According to his skills and according to his caliber, in the ring. So, man, we'll see what happens, man. And I take this with, I don't believe what he's saying. I don't think he's gonna move down to 135 from 147 to 135. Yeah, right. And you think his boss Bob is gonna let him, or Todd, or whoever these guys are, whoever they put him under. You think they're going to let him move down to 135 just because he got an emotional outburst and said something on Twitter? I don't think so. As we see so far, ladies and gentlemen, it's his higher ups who are calling the shots, not Bud. And that's kind of why I feel sorry for him. But hey, I hope the best for Bud, man. I wish the best for him, and we'll see what's next, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and comment. Go ahead and comment in the comment section. What do you guys think about this? Yeah, man, it is what it is. All due respect to Bud, man, but I just don't see him moving down to 135. I don't see him moving up to 160 to fight Canelo. I don't see him doing any of that stuff. So we'll see what happens. What's next in his career? Renee Box Young, share, like, subscribe. Thank you, each and every one of you, for your support, man. Stay safe out there. Peace out, fam.